The story of Lord Jagannatha. Long ago, Indrayamuna, king of the Surya dynasty, became obsessed with seeing the Blue Lord, Krishna, or Nilamadava. The king sent many Brahmans out in search of him, but they all failed him. One priest, however, Vidyapati, found a group of people in the hills of Odisha called the Sabaras who worship Nilamadava. He told the king, who went to see for himself. Unfortunately, Indrayamuna could see the deity. He couldn't see the deity because it had been moved, and this sent him into a deep depression. So the Blue Lord appeared to him in a dream, and he said to him, "Build a large temple for me on top of Nila Hill in Puri. There you will see me, not as Nilamadava, but in a form made of wood." He was told to watch out for a giant log that will wash up on Puri's beach. When it did, the king selected the architect Visvakarma to come and carve the deity from the wood. Now Visvakarma said that he would only carve this deity if he could remain completely undisturbed for 3 weeks. If anyone interrupted him during that time, he will leave regardless of the progress of his work. The king agreed, and Visvakarma began his work behind closed doors. Now at some point, Indrayamuna's curiosity got the better of him, and he entered into the room to check on the progress of the work. But as soon as the doors were opened, Visvakarma disappeared in a puff of smoke, leaving behind him 3 rough-hewn, unfinished deities, Lord Jagannatha, Baladev, and Subhadra. Jagannatha is Krishna, Baladev is his brother Balaram, and Subhadra is his sister Yogamaya. Now even though these deities were unfinished, the sculptor had shown such love and such devotion in his work that the Lord finally fully manifested within these unfinished deities. And so these deities began appearing in temples all over the world, including home temples. Now, in addition to the deities appearing in temples all over the world, there's now a massive festival called the Rath Yatra festival that takes place each year. The Rath Yatra festival, or the Journey of Chariots, takes place each summer in India, and it also travels around the world. There are 3 chariots 45 feet high, and on each one there's a platform where the deity stands, topped with red, green, blue, and yellow canopies. Thousands of people pull the chariots along the way on this parade route, and metaphorically, this pulling of the ropes is a pulling of the Lord back to your heart. Tradition tells us that a person who touches the ropes or even gazes upon Lord Jagannatha on his chariot is receiving liberation. And so there is nothing greater that a person can do than to come in the presence of Lord Jagannatha. And so here you see in India of that massive festival taking place in India. But as it travels around the world, you will see New York City, where these giant chariots start making their way down 5th Avenue, and even in Wheeling, West Virginia. Wheeling, West Virginia is very near the land of Krishna, New Vrindavan, and for the last 6 or 7 years, there has been a Rath Yatra festival, a festival of India, as they call it, that takes place in the streets of Wheeling, West Virginia. There was not one last year, obviously, because of COVID, and it's been canceled again for this year. But I have a feeling that if you're interested in participating or watching this at some point in the future, it will be back to Wheeling and a lot of other places around the world.